Welcome and good morning. This is going to be my first attempt at building a wixwell team. I am going to go through, and I think this is going to be a two-part video, though I may finish it all in one. I don't think I will. I'm going to show you the process of how I go about building clan boss teams or other teams. Okay. First things first, I really want to build a fast team. I want to build it so it's 2-to-1 at a minimum for clan boss. The other thing I want is I want it to be Infinity Shield. The other thing I want is you notice this isn't getting any shorter? I want to do a frick ton of damage. I want to see a 1 billion. Now, I know I'm not going to get a billion. I know that I'm going to barely break, 100 million or whatever. But I want a big number. So, how do I go about doing that? So, part 1, we go to Hell Hades Optimizer. I've talked about this before. And we'll talk about it again. Sorry, I'm getting the screen over here for you. And I'm pulling up all the wixwell teams. And I'm looking at all these, and I'm trying to determine everybody's role. Mr. Wixwell himself is awesome. We all know Wixwell is awesome, but Wixwell is awesome, right? He's the basis of the Infinity team, and he puts out that block. I'm gonna call it block debuff. I can't remember the name of the move right now off the top of my head, but he blocks the stun. So we have to pay attention, but we should be able to block the stun, no problem. Then we're going to go into part 2. Part 2 is, okay, what are the rest of these guys? What are their purposes? And all these guys, what are their purposes? So, High Katoon, speed. High Katoon, speed. You know who I like better than High Katoon for speed lead? I like Razzlevarg better. But it's 1% difference in speed. So I'm going to have to adjust for that. But 1% speed. Demitha. Love Demitha. She's one of my favorites. But just for shits and giggles, what if I replace her with Lanicus? Why would I choose Lanicus? Lanicus has a 40 or 30% boost to turn meter, which allows me to go faster. And then that gives me an extra turn, while still giving Wixwell the Infinity Shield. Razor, HP, max HP hit on his A2. What else does that do for me? On his A2, not only does he do max HP, but he also extends all the shields, just like Lanicus does. So that makes Wixwell happy. And the Newt is just a plain nuker, right? I had to think about this. I don't want to touch my Newt. My Newt is set up for so many different teams. I'm not going to play with his speed. So who am I going to put in his place? I went through my head and I did a lot of thought on this. And I came up with, I think Rathalos Blademaster might be fun there. So I went to go do it, and it was a mess. It wasn't consistent, wasn't good. So I took my Heart Eater team, I have it here, and I have all the dimensions so I can adjust as needed. But I have my Heart Eater team here, And I decided I'm going to use their speeds as the base for this. Why? Because then I can do everything I want to do. And it's consistent, and I'll have stuff. So let's see what happens if I use my Heart Eater team's speeds with my Wixwell composition. And look what we have here. So we're going to start out with Razzlevarg at an outrageous speed. This is not an easy speed to get, 269. It's not the 300 speeds that a lot of people have, but it is high, and I admit that fully. But Razzlevarg, with his 20% speed order, which is just faster than bleep. And because he puts out speed, while the speed is out, and you notice, speed is staying out there the entire time. It's not going away because of the buff extensions. That increases his hits. I like that. Okay. So number 2 that I'm going to do, number 2 character is Grisor. Keeping all of his moves here, not getting rid of anything. I do think, I know, with Lanicus, I'm going to open A3 to put all of her good stuff out there and then never touch A3 after that. We'll open with it and then never use it after that. It's not going to show up here, but that's going to give everybody a boost in attack. It's going to give everybody a boost in everything. Crit damage. Because that's what her A3 does. We'll put it out there at the beginning, and then gone. Iron Guts. I want to lead with his A2. Do I want to lead with his A2? Does that affect everything? Yes, it does. Oh, that I had everything perfect. And not, yeah, right here. Right around turn 25, 26, it becomes perfect. So if I move this down, does that get rid of perfect? Yeah, it does. So Lanicus is not going to do her big move until her second move. Her second move is going to be her big move, and then we're going to just whoop, let her go. Because he's going to go A3. Razzlevarg's going to go. So use a move, use a move, use a move, use a move, use a move. So everybody's going to use it once. Wixwell will use it twice and use it up. Razzlevarg will use it twice. Then it gets extended. Can't extend this any further. Because Razzlevarg and Wixwell won't get the extension. Because then Iron Guts extends it out. I don't think it's going to matter. I'm thinking out loud. I'm showing you guys the process of how I go about building this team. But as I said, once we get around turn 25, it just smooths out and it's perfect. It does the same thing every move. You can see that everybody's 2-1, except for Razelvarg, which is 3-1, which I absolutely love. Yes, please. And then we are done. It's just going to stay that way for the next 1,500 turns. This gives me maximum damage. And let's take a peek at the artifact enhancer here. And let's look at this team. Variations. View team. He has a shield. And I think the shield is going to be put on everybody. If I'm not mistaken, a shield set is put on everybody. Let's validate that. I'm pretty sure that's true. But let's validate that. I don't use shield equipment very often, so this will be the first time ever using shield on anybody. But I can just come here and just go straight to shield here. Pretty pink shield right here it is. Plus 30% HP. Ally shield for 3 turns. So this puts the shield on everybody for 3 turns. So I need 1 set of shield on this entire team. So who's going to get the shield? So let's figure this out. Let's go back to our wonderful thing here. Okay, so if I put the shield set on, it gives me 1 more set of stuff to load in. And it gets extended here. How many turns is that shield out there for? Because it may not matter based on this build, because I'm not getting any help on it. For 3 turns. I should be able to, yeah, that should do it. Because I'm rocking it right around. Because extend. 1, 2, 3, extend. Plus, Iron Guts is extending here. That should be enough to keep it moving forward. Does Wixwell have an extend in him too? Let's take a peek at Wixwell. Increases the value of all shields on all allies. Also increases the duration of all ally buffs. So his A2 extends everything also. So now if we head back to here, we also got to look at Wixwell A2. A2 goes off here. So we're going to get extended here. We're going to get extended here. We're going to get extended here. I think, for the most part, we should be pretty safe. This is Razelvarg runs out here. Rathalos runs out here. But do we ever run out after? See, everybody runs out. Did we find a flaw? Once we get up to 25, let's see, did we find a flaw? Yes, we did. Razzlevarg runs out. So Razzlevarg could be stunned. Razzlevarg could be stunned because he's going 3-1. He's going too fast. It's just a quick switch. Let's see what happens if we go 269 and 244. I see that mucks it all up because now Razzlevarg, that doesn't. 269. 244. It mucked it all up. Oh, that's because he does the extend. That's why. Let's try you at 269. No. Let's try you at 269. Does this change and muck things up? Yes, it does. There we go. This will work for all affinities, if I'm not mistaken. Ultra Nightmare, Nightmare. Yeah, everything's fine. The only thing that's going to be bad is my Razzlevarg. He can get stunned. Ah, shit. I may have to go with Haikatoon. And if I'm not mistaken, we gotta turn this bad boy off. And see, Haikatoon still loses it. But he never loses it on this turn. He never loses it on this turn. We'll lose it here, but we'll regain it here. Well, I'm going to turn this back to Razzlevarg. So this will work then for all affinities except he's blue. We got both of these at red now. And red's good against blue. Which means that will not work. He's going to get stunned and killed. Unless No, that isn't going to matter. I just need to slow Razzle down. How far? We're just going to go into the thing here. We're going to be right here at turn 25. And we're just going to start slowing Razzlevarg down to see how slow we go until we get a perfect pattern again. You know, right here is fine. No one loses. Oh, yeah. Rasmussen loses here. But they never lose it in turn 3 where the stun occurs. Raslos does right there. Now Razzlevarg is losing it again, but that's because he's going 3 turns. Razzle, stop going 3 turns. Okay, 220. Raslos is still losing it. 216. No one's losing that. Here it is. Razzlevarg's losing it here. Lanicus is losing it. Razzle's losing it. I apologize about the boringness of this video, but I'm working on this to try to get this set up perfectly so that way we can go through and not worry. And it doesn't matter the affinity. Here we go. Rathlos here. Okay, turn 26 loses it. Everything is good up to that point. Okay, I'm going to try some weird numbers now. And then wixwell at 248. Now, no one loses it. Razzle lost it right here. Razzlevarg lost it. And that's going to kill me. But if I change this over to High Katoon, and based on their build, oops, where's their build? Their build is right here. High Katoon starts A2, does not use his A3. Turn this off. And that should start with A2, and Rathlos still loses it here. That's not what we want. Rathlos loses it here. Let's replace Restless with Newt. Because that's what they did. According to their stuff that they use, their numbers, let's validate on the. He doesn't skip anything. But we should try to replace for Demitha. Demitha comes in for. Oops. Demitha comes in for Lanicus. Look at all those. And with that, we don't lose anything. But I'm betting I could replace Newt now with Breathless. And I don't miss anything. And I'm betting I can replace Haikatoon with Razzlevar. That is not true. Actually, it is. It is not true. So this has to be Haikatoon. And we never lose. We never, ever, ever lose that. I still like the build. I like everything about it. What happens instead of Rathlos? I put in. I do like Rathlos because he has the decreased defense. What if we put in Wallmaster? We have to turn off his A3. There we go. And if we use Wallmaster, and that's not a high number, and champions. I am going to be ending it right here, right now. I told you I was going to break it up into two parts. As I said, we're going through the research phase right now. Oh, shit. It would work except for I have this gear on. That gets him more turn meter. But it shouldn't matter because fills this champion's turn meter for each enemy hit by an AoE attack. There's only one hero, so it's going to increase his turn meter by 5. And I can adjust for that. What is his skills? This one here is enter an extra turn. We don't want the extra turn, so we'll turn that off. Increase attack, increase accuracy, increase speed. That's the one I really want. I just don't want to grant the extra turn. Because then this puts in block debuffs, which I don't care about. Decrease attack, which actually is nice. That's not the guy I want. You know who might be the guy? Grants an extra turn, but we're not going to kill anybody. Why don't we put Septimus in? Let's see what happens to our algorithm when we put Septimus in. Much better. No one loses the wixwell trait. I have 2 max HPs. Demissa is going strong. I think Demissa could be replaced, but I like the fact that she's here because she's giving so much. And I'm constantly healing, which I need in the beginning anyways. To survive. Okay, guys, we got a team. Tomorrow's video, we're going to run this team. We're going to run this team. I wish this wasn't 4-turn cooldown. I wish that was 3. Outside of that, this is going to be freaking fun. And on top of that, Iron Guts is still going just to beat all hell. The only thing I'm going to do here is I'll put him at the highest priority with his A2. They should never cross, but I want his A2 going as fast as possible. We lead with the A1, then he goes into his A2 to extend everything, which is exactly what we want. Boom, boom, boom. And now we start extending everything. The Missa does her job. You know, the Missa, if we just delay, open with our A1. I know that Haikatoon isn't going to have much, but that gets me block debuffs on the, or block damage on the first turn. And after that, I don't fucking care. Turn 17, Septimus loses it. But Septimus shouldn't be the target. On this one, at least. But after that, he never loses it. No one loses it, ever, after turn 17. So we just have to make it past turn 17. So let's go back to turn 17. And let's see. Septimus loses this. But Demetha puts the block on it. And it's perfect. It is perfectly timed. So when he loses his block, and it's only my damage dealer, so it really isn't that big of a deal. I think we're ready for prime time, guys. I think we're ready for prime time. Right here, he loses it again at turn 29. We're not ready for prime time. But you know what? I'm such an idiot. It doesn't matter. I can put that team back the way I had it. I am an absolute freaking moron. Though I do like this setup a little better. It doesn't matter if it. I mean, I put in Septimus because he's HP damage, but it doesn't matter. You want to know why? Grisur is a freaking monster. And what is Grisur going to put out all the time? If I can find Iron Guts here. Iron Guts puts out a Provoke. He puts out a Provoke for 1 turn. So as long as the Provoke's on the same turn as... This is a 3-turn cooldown. So I need to put in a max HP guy with his on a 3-turn cooldown. That works. I want that to go in. I can't afford the extra turn. Who else has max HP here? Rathalos doesn't have max HP, but Rathalos does increase speed, increase crit damage. Let's put Rathalos in there. I like him too much in this composition to keep him out. Because if I do this, it keeps everything viable. And then all I have to do is, like here, he loses it. So I need to make sure Iron Guts' A3 goes off before that point. So I need to delay Iron Guts is A3. Bring this down. There it is. His A3 goes off before. That's perfect. So, I'm going to stop here. We're going to pick this up tomorrow. I have lots of ideas for what we're going to do. My main idea right now for this is I'm going to see what happens with Iron Guts to see if I can't always have his A3 go off on the 3rd round after turn 25. Using that old system. Because if I use the old system and do that, guess what? Then I have a better starting team. So I'm going to try that off camera. I'm going to try a bunch of other things off camera. But I wanted you guys to see the process I'm going through. Tomorrow's video will be this team and the other team that I'm working on, whichever one works out better. And we're going to give her a go. And hopefully that go is like really go, 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 go. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.